Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Manager Streamer Showdown YouTube channel with me, your host, MrDizTV. Today we are conducting our pre-showdown interviews pre-season 4, which will be aired on the 27th of April, the 30th of April and the 1st of May in the evening on the FM Streamer Showdown Twitch channel. So make sure you mark that in your diaries. My guest today, although he's yet to win one, his exit interviews are now legendary and he is a 3-time runner-up. He is the head of the Streamer Showdown. It is, of course, the boss. It is Dr. Benjy. Ben, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm glad you got the brief on the dates and times, Diz. That was good. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's good. No, it's good to be here. I used to do this with Matt, so it's nice to, he's freed me a little bit. I mean, I've been let out of the cage for a Mr. Diz interview, which I always look forward to. So yeah, this should be good. Yeah, it's not good, is it, when one of your traits is your exit interviews? that's not what you want, really. Anyway, whatever.
Well, with these, I'm trying to keep my introduction to be Streamer Showdown related. And I was thinking, what could spoil. I mean, people know this anyway when they see this. Like, Clayton's going to be the next one. So Clayton could put 2-time winner, Clayton, all that kind of stuff. And with you, I was like, his exit interviews are really good, aren't they?
Yeah, I might have to start okaying the titles to these videos. I might have to start really going in deep. But no, yeah, look, we've all got our thing, haven't we? And if that's my thing, then so be it. But I don't want it as a thing. But it's fine.
The entertainment is legendary, though. But I want to just quickly go back onto the last one, because the last one, a lot of people thought that you picked one of the strongest teams, and I think you did after draft night as well.
Yeah.
But then something changed between the draft night and the league night, where you were really despondent. You kind of like resigned to your fate. What changed between the draft night and the league night?
Yeah, no one believed me. Everyone thought I was just sandbag. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I see what he's doing. I'm sitting there thinking, no, you're about to see what's about to happen. So yeah, it's sad really. I tried so many things. Like, I played that Saturday just about as badly as you could play a streamer showdown Saturday, but I was already in the knowledge of what I'd planned like the day before and during for the draft, because I tend to draft for a team, which it's not always like or a formation or a system, which is not always the best way of doing it. So my logic was, right, we'll have small diminutive players that are really creative and pace them behind, things like that. Then I tested it against Mike, who you might recall came second bottom against his team. I knew what system he'd play. I was convinced of what he'd play. And I was like 50-50 against it. I was like, do you know what? Sometimes I'm absolutely destroying him. I'm having 1,000 passes a game. Like, people aren't going to be able to deal with this. It's going to be really difficult. And then I played against Jack a little bit, which we tend to do. We have a little battle before the Saturday kicks off. And then I played Holly, who was first showdown. She had a very Kev team. She beat me. And I was like, right, not only are they beating me, I'm doing nothing. Like, we are doing absolutely nothing. So I was already resigned. I was like, oh man, this is not a good draft. They were small. They didn't play into the meta of Football Manager at all. That just wasn't a thing. And as we've sort of seen in showdowns, that if you don't play to the meta of Football Manager and the way the engine works this year, you are in trouble. And I knew I was in trouble.
Well, I was your first game. So when you were saying, I'm downplaying game.
No wonder I was confident. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, D's coming up first. But yeah. No. And then you beat me 2-0 or something. And I was like, well, it's all very much in the memory. Suddenly I can remember every element. And I knew then, I was like, oh, okay, Diz is destroyed, but I've done nothing. I probably changed the system. I think I had 17 formations that Saturday. So lesson to the kids out there. Don't try that at home. That's not going to work.
Because it must bother you, and it's your tournament, and obviously it's for the content, and we all know that it's for entertainment purposes, but there is a little bit in you, right, that really wants to win your own competition.
Not a little bit, Diz. All of me. All of me wants to win it. And I want to win it in a style that no one else wins it in. Look, showdown coming up. I realise I can say I'm in it. I'm sitting here like, well, I better not say, because no one knows at this point. But like, I've got a system that I'm sure we'll talk about in a moment that people won't have played against very often, won't necessarily know how to deal with it. And I'm excited to see how people try and cope with it or copy it, which I think is what will happen. That might give me an edge moving forward. But I feel like it's difficult, right? I feel like everyone's got a very set way of playing, and I don't try and conform to those ideas. Like, I am the anti-Kev. Like, I don't want to do what Kev does and what Holly did successfully, and that a few other people do as well. I want to try and win a showdown, and people are sat there afterwards going, how has he won that? So that's sort of what I'm looking forward to. It'll now be sort of, why has he won that? Which will be, or wow, he's won the one. So yeah, the emotions of other people is changing. But yeah, I don't want to conform to the way of doing it. I think I have a good understanding of what it takes to win one. Like I've watched Kev a lot and then invited him back and watched him a lot. I'm usually knocked out by the point I get to watch him. So I understand I know the optimal way to win, but I'm not someone that likes to win optimally. I don't think Z is either, right? And Z's one to be like that. I think Clates with his first couple, again, wasn't playing the way that everyone expected. FNG certainly didn't do that. Tom didn't know how he won. So, other people have won it in different ways. And I think because I've seen that happen, I'm like, well, it is possible. Maybe, just maybe.
Does it ever concern you though? Because obviously, like, if we talk about waves of people, you had the initial wave. Now you've got this new wave with RDF, with Holly. Stinger's come in and he did really well in the last one, getting through to the semi-finals. And now we've got a returning Clates. Does it ever concern you that maybe your time might have passed in relation to winning it?
No, because I keep seeing Kev win them. And he's the oldest man in the world. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think the idea is that like I should have won one by now, and I feel like there's 2 tournaments I could have won that I didn't win. The first one against Kev, and the loss to Clates. I'm sure Clates will see it very differently. I would accept that, but that's one that I dominated that tournament. I don't actually think I won the league, which sounds like an oxymoron now, but like I did dominate the way in which we were playing. I was really difficult to stop. No one did a very good job at it. And I got set piece to death by Clates. And obviously that's part of Football Manager. I can't complain too much, but in terms of like the way in which I picked my team, I feel like I had a brilliant draft. I had a system again that people hadn't really used before, in the way I had 2 shallow strikers behind Ronaldo, and then I moved them forward and back and played around quite a lot with the midfield. Am I worried? Not really. Like I think there's a huge amount of luck that is involved in winning them, which is why Kev winning so many is ridiculous. But I also think like I love getting RDF in and seeing the new things that he's going to try. Same with Stinger, right? With Holly coming in and playing and sort of replicating. It's Halujo. She plays her way, but in a Kev basis. But she said it before. That's how she would have picked regardless. So you've got to give her the credit. And then like beating Clates and I'm sure Jack feels similar to me, right? Jack wants to win one in sort of his way, winning his way. But no, I don't think either of us think that it's like over for us. If it is, then I might as well stop playing this just to get new people all the time. But no, it's still a challenge, and I like the fact it's still a challenge. I just need to not play 17 formations on a Saturday. So I draft well, and then we should be okay.
But that was a concern last time, wasn't it? Because you were unsure whether you were going to come back.
I got embarrassed. I can't. The thing is, I was quite humble at the beginning of the weekend. Then I ended the weekend quite humble until my exit interview, where I got pop off. Not a chance.
Was that bravado, Ben, or did you genuinely think you could win that?
Well, ready for the lowdown, boys? Which game am I doing? I mean, excited. Yeah. Here we go. High atmosphere. But like, when you don't win, you can't act like you're winning. So I had to I had a brilliant stream actually. Looking back, like the stream days of Saturday, I'd love to say Sunday, but it didn't happen. Saturday was really good. The draft was really good. Like there was a new, with Holly and RDF being new, like there was a completely fresh energy to the draft, to the gameplay. No Kev as well, so that little toxic ball of wonder was gone as well. So it felt really different and felt really fresh. So I love seeing new people in. I love being involved with those new people. I think I'm a good glue to new people, I think, and you win as well, obviously, right? So it was the whole environment of it. I think I make other people feel comfortable, either by ribbing them a little bit or defending them at times, or like whatever I'm doing. If you're watching from home, you probably don't notice it, but I think it's been said, when I'm not in them, it's really noticeable. And it's so, as much as it's, people would probably rather I wasn't in them sometimes, I feel like I am quite important to helping new people integrate into the group a little bit.
And I said that on the last cool down, didn't I? Like the way you guys kind of put us at ease, you especially, on the Saturday. Everything was moving on nicely. Like we had some questions, you answered them. It was pretty cool, to be fair. It was a nice thing to see. On the other end, obviously me normally being on the lowdown.
Yeah.
Well, we've mentioned your exit interviews. So do you plan them?
No, sad, isn't it? Because you think, because that's now a question of like, are these pre-arranged? Are these done? The thing is, there is this point, like I had it against Kev when he beat me quite notoriously. I have to think, right, well, I've done this type of exit. I've done that type of exit. There's not many left. I think there's a storm out option in press conferences. I'm going to do that one. Like, I'm just going to storm out. I'm going to leave. I'm going to block Kev on Twitter and then say something that gets his viewers to notice, or to get him to notice that I've blocked him on Twitter. But a ball of fury was what I was going for. I wasn't that angry, but like, I was frustrated. I wasn't angry, but I was frustrated. And then I called after about half an hour. I was fine. And then when Mike knocked him out, I couldn't have been cooler. I was like, oh yeah, get the cigars out. Here we go, lovely stuff. We enjoy the weekend now. So no, to answer your question directly, Diz, no, I don't plan them, but I might have to start doing so because I'm running out of ways to quit. So I need other ones.
Zealand calls him the best in the biz. I remember seeing a comment from him while you were going off on the last one. Just in the lowdown chat, the best I've
had a lot of them. I've had more than anyone probably. So like, you know, I've got a lot of practice.
Now moving on to season 4. Obviously, you've just come from a record low points, the worst Streamer Showdown performance by any individual, if you account goal difference. Yeah. Sorry I've added that.
No, I'm proud of it in a way.
But now, season 4, how do you come back in season 4 now?
I think my new system, my new style is gonna blow some minds, and I bet there's a few of them already that are looking at it thinking, right, can I stop this? How do I stop this? Do I play 3 at the back? Do I pat the midfield? Do I play strikerless against him? Or alternatively, and what I hope they're gonna do is just think that whatever they're doing is better than what I'm doing. And I think that will give me the most amount of space to dominate. I know how to stop it. I've played it enough now. Like I've used it in my derby save, which I've played a lot of matches with. And I know the type of teams that prevent me from doing well. And it's not 3 big strikers. So I'm hoping there are lots of people that think, oh, I better play the meta. I better have a big striker. I'll reveal now, Diz, I won't be drafting any big strikers unless Andy Carroll's available late doors. But no, I won't be drafting any like big strikers. I won't be I might draft one striker as like oh god, it has really gone wrong. But yeah, it's not part of the planning.
So this new tactic is obviously a strikerless. It's an evolution of the Blanco board that you mentioned on your derby.
Give him the credit. Initially. Give back Blanco some credit. I want to know where he got it from. I'm going to have to start digging because there's no way. I know Matt Blanco. There's no way his mind's come up with that. There's no chance. He's taken it from somewhere and adapted it to call it Blanco ball, and I'm calling it Benjy ball. So, but yeah, go on. Sorry, Diz. I'm sure there was a question.
No, I was going to say, like you mentioned it yesterday on Twitter. You mentioned how it's the future, and the comments that you got. It was mad, wasn't it? Like a lot of people didn't understand. Like you play with inverted wing backs, attacking with inside foot. I mean, I'm giving you a game plan here.
It's all right. It's fine. It's out there. It's out there. A lot of videos on it, Diz. So it's okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people were blown away by it. Really.
Yeah, I think as soon as Out of Context FM tweets you, and then people see that he's replied to that tweet, and then it's coming up inside, like it's been seen by 400,000 people on, like it's got that many impressions on Twitter. There's lots of Football Manager players that are looking at that going either that's disgusting or tweeting their friend going, I told you it works, or something like that. Like it's very funny seeing the reaction to it. A lot of people hate it because there's no striker. A lot of people think it's very narrow. A lot of people think that it's broken, which I think is hilarious because the amount of times I get criticised for doing like tactics and formation man things that do really well. Like with Norwich, I used an asymmetric thing that worked really well. Didn't work in the showdown. Got embarrassed again. But this time around, like I'm super confident in it. And I saw Blanco use a version of it in a tournament, in a different online tournament, and do quite well with it. So yeah, I'm more confident than I would be, I think, had I not seen him do that.
Interesting. Well, I look forward to seeing it on the weekends. I'd be remiss if having the head of the Streamer Showdown, I didn't talk about some business, a business aspect of it. So obviously this Streamer Showdown, I feel the last couple have felt really fresh. You've got RDF and you've got Holly in. You've now got Viking Dan being involved. You've got Stinger on the lowdown with Sweet Left Foot. Sweet Left Foot hasn't been on there for ages. Proudly obviously covering the Wednesday. It feels really fresh. Is that how you feel?
I think, yeah, even if, like when you're going to use the same cast of people have to remember that using them differently creates a completely different dynamic. So not having Dan on the lowdown and having him in a showdown, right, is really tactically proficient. He's one of the Kev killers that I like to call them, that have knocked Kev out and beaten Kev, and has a really good record against Kev. It's a shame, as people now know, that Kev's not in this one because Dan's record against him is excellent. So yeah, but taking him out of that, like taking that analytical brain off the lowdown and leaving you on there, blimey, what a risk. So we'll see.
That's why you got Stinger.
But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Stinger is in a similar mold to Dan in that he understands the game on a slightly different level. He appreciates the game on a slightly different level, perhaps. Like you've got Mike in there who's been in finals this year and also had a really terrible performance, so knows the highs and lows of everything. You're coming off the back of being in one. Curtie was in the first one. It's no coincidence that the regular lowdown panelists are all getting a shot just to see how they do, right? And it's up to one of them if they want to win it and get back in again, then that's up to them. Dan's got a chance. I like to think it is fresh again. Having Clayton's back is great. Having IDF and Holly back in again is going to be fantastic. I think people know this by now that we work on like a 2 showdown rule of like 1 and 2 are almost paired up, 3 and 4. This is number 4 kind of paired up. to give people that little shot of redemption, right? Ches is back in as well. Like I think he wanted to have another go at some stage, and so it's great to get him back involved too. It's a really nice lineup actually, and I think it's going to be set for some real good tactical battles, right? RDF and Z have this little thing going on, and I think they maybe have forgotten or don't appreciate that Dan is up there when it comes to understanding the logistics of Football Manager and how it actually operates. And again, I think people sleep on me and Jack because we're like we continually shit. So I was gonna be like really clever there, but I just thought no, just say shit because that's what it's been. So yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see how everything intertwines and how everyone interlinks and the battles that we get. And hopefully people think that even though the lineup is very much a lot of familiar faces, that the twists of the pool are very, very different now. Like the changes that we've made to that are going to be fascinating. The draft itself is going to be curious. Like I'm very excited to see how people approach it because it's not something we've ever done before.
Well, it's exciting times, and once again, thank you very much for doing this. I firmly believe the comeback is stronger than the setback, so hopefully, you know,
talking
you'll
waffle.
well.
I know what you're like. I'll be tuning in on Wednesday, and you'll be going, he's an idiot. I can't.
I'm not going to go for you, just so you know. After season 1, you broke me. You're like sweet little. You've let me down more times than an elevator. But yes.
Have I told you this? How much of a great job I think you do on this channel these days? Goodness me.
Oh no, brilliant. But yeah, good luck, Ben. We look forward to seeing your performance. Obviously, it is on the 27th of April, the 31st of April, the 1st of May. It's over on Twitch on the FM Streamer Showdown. And yeah, good luck.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I probably need it. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you enjoy the showdown, and if you do watch it, let us know if you enjoy it.
Yeah, and make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.